Welcome to the show, Insider John Heyman. Hi, John. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. Listen, it's funny. Anytime you say something about a Blue Jay, everybody goes, "What? Huh? What?" And you did it yesterday again, saying that Edwin plans on not negotiating. He's going to stay the course as he said he would. What have you heard? Is it just kind of business as usual, or is this now a reinforced stance because of the kind of season he's been having?
I think it's reinforced. I mean, the guy has 80 RBIs. That's pretty good at the break. So, they're only 2.5 months to free agency at this point. So, if he had, 12 homers and 45 RBIs, they might be more interested in talking at this point. My understanding going in was that they might listen at the break, and I guess they've decided no, they're not going to. I think Toronto's tried a little bit to engage, and it's just not happening. He'll be a free agent. But you know what? In the end, it's not a huge surprise. When you get a star player within a year of free agency, it's pretty rare to sign that player up. It happens, maybe 10% of the time, maybe 15% of the time, but not that often. So I think we're going to see Encarnacion and Bautista both as free agents at this point.
Well, we saw it in Washington, right? I mean, you saw that this year where someone re-upped and didn't have to, and they bought out his free agency. And I wonder what it would take for Edwin to listen. Do you know of a number, or is that number kind of escalating, obviously, in the kind of season that he's had?
Well, I think that he's interested in a 4-year deal. The exact figure I couldn't tell you, but you hear 4 to 5. But Victor Martinez got 4 years. Nelson Cruz got 4 years. These are sluggers or very good hitters in their 30s who are mostly hitters, not really dynamic in the field. Now, Edwin can play first base. Victor Martinez is a DH. Cruz can play the outfield. But ultimately, by the end of these 4-year deals, they'll all be DHs. So I think he's in that category and would anticipate and hope to get at least a 4-year deal. And I didn't really get a chance to talk to Mark Shapiro yesterday. Did text back that the reports that they'd offered 1 year's, then 2-year, not exactly accurate. Didn't exactly say what they were, but. We've heard that they were in that 2-year range. Maybe they would go to 3, but I don't think that they want to go to 4. And I think that there's just an issue on the term.
So Shapiro said yes, we have tried to engage. However, wouldn't be specific. Was he specific about?
He just said that he denied that. When I asked, I heard that they'd offered 1 year first and then 2 years. He just denied that. But I've heard from other Toronto people that they have tried to engage at some point. Whether that meant that they were trying to give him a 2-year offer and they would, or 2 and an option, I don't know exactly what they were trying to do. But they're not on the same page, as frequently happens when you're talking about a guy with a lot of money coming and this close to free agency.
Did they? Have you heard about dollar amounts?
Well, I would say that he would be looking at close to 20 a year. That would probably be what he'd be looking for. But that's just an estimate on my part. Victor, I believe, got 17 or so a year, and Nelson Cruz, I think, got around 14. Obviously, Encarnacion's having a terrific year, so I think we're looking at closer to the 17 range than anything, maybe a little bit higher than that.
John, of course, a lot of people thinking that the Boston Red Sox are going to be heavily in on Edwin Encarnacion at the end of the season when he hits free agency. And after the All-Star game, it was interesting to hear David Ortiz talk about it. I want you to hear this clip of Ortiz that we've been playing all day.
The Red Sox know also that they need to reinforce the middle of the lineup. And, sorry, Blue Jays, but who better than Encarnacion to do that?
Is that not tampering, John? Is he not going to hear from Major League Baseball about that?
Yeah, Boston does it. They are on the edge a little bit on the tampering thing. We know Pedro Martinez mentioned Jose Fernandez. He's my colleague at MLB Network. And, of course, Pedro Martinez and David Ortiz, such superstars and fun-loving, happy guys that they can get away with almost anything. I would say at this point that's slightly tampering, but he's a player. He's not in the front office, so the players might be allowed to do that more than somebody who's actually in the front office. He's just making a public suggestion. If the GM did that, yeah, I would say that's tampering. But I think David Ortiz, being who he is and being a player, he probably can get away with it. But that's the obvious spot. I think we wrote about that a few months ago for either of these two guys. Obviously, they probably won't bring in both, but I would say that they would look at one or the other. Probably pretty likely, assuming that Ortiz does follow through and retire.